So I'm going to bring us back to the timeline now. It'll be just before the turn of the century. By 1997, Calvert was building practically a school a year, and sections of Route 4 were beginning to show signs of future congestion. Nation impact fees were covering some but not all development costs, and the commissioners were experiencing the impact of rapid growth. So during the preparation of the plan, citizens raised these questions. Can Maryland 4 handle the doubling of the number of households here? What about the school system? And how will growth impact the bay, the environment, our rural character, and the groundwater? And after thorough study of this, the county commissioners and planning commission worked for a strategy for growth. And the thought was that if growth management and land preservation could work hand in hand, we might be able to control growth, reduce the number of houses built in the county, reduce the number of schools ultimately needed, future stress on transportation system, preserve rural character, and support local farmers. But there needed to be a reliable funding source to make that happen. And so on September 21st, 1999, the Ag Preservation Advisory Board met with the Board of County Commissioners, and the commissioners agreed to increase the recordation fee. Then they actually increased the recordation fee, and then they did a budget adjustment for the increase in the recordation fee to go for ag preservation. I'm saying this, I'm saying this and I'm giving you the summary of the minutes so that you can see exactly what was said, because a long time has passed and people tend to forget what the intended purpose of the recordation increase was. And it was also covered in the recorder. And the recorder noted that the revenue raised by the increase will be used to help fund the agricultural preservation program. And the Independent said the recordation fee is part of one of a complex funding initiative the county is courting to purchase development rights from landowners in the hope of reducing future build-out. So the long background, and I'm going to be talking about money that came out of that recordation fee increase. Before I do that, I think it requires a little bit of explanation about our land preservation programs. There is a flyer that's out here that has a description. What's unusual about land preservation programs is they separate just one part of the bundle of rights typically associated with land. If you own land, you have the right to harvest the timber, to hunt, to grow things, to keep people off the land. Land preservation programs just separate the development rights that are associated with benefits of land ownership. Thus, the owners can sell the development potential without selling their land, either to a developer through the transfer of development rights or to the county or state, which is called purchase of development rights. Give you some examples. Many think that development potential is the highest value component of the bundle of rights in the parcel of land, but that is often not the case. In this example, the owners decided they no longer wished to farm the property. So in the early 1990s, they had the property surveyed, they took it to the county to get it approved. They had, I think it was 26 lots that were recorded as a result of that, and then they auctioned it off to the highest bidder. The highest bidder was Calvert Farmland Trust. And in one day, they bought the property, they unrecorded the subdivision, they enrolled it in an ag preservation district, they transferred the development rights, and they sold the land to a farmer. All in one day, which I think was a record. So pretty amazing story there, but it didn't just stop there. This is a property down on the mouth of St. Leonard Creek and the Tucson River. And this property is 150 acres plus, and the owners decided they didn't want to own it anymore, so they advertised it throughout the DC region. And the highest bidder for the property was Calvert Farmland Trust. They bought the property, rolled it in Ag Preservation District, sold the development rights, sold the property in 350 tracts, and they got their money back. And here's another property that did not involve a land trust. This one was it was auctioned off as a piece of land. The highest bidder was a private property owner, and that person created a couple lots and sold the development rights and was able to purchase the property. However, and this is a big however, and a lot of attention here, is that there have been changes over time that have happened. Is that you cannot apply for an Ag Preservation District today. There's been a moratorium on Ag Preservation Districts since 2013. So this is not an option as a tool to preserve your land. Also, the county set up a purchase development rights program going big time, as I said, after the 1997 plan, for the dual role of preserving land and reducing build-out. And so they set up this leveraging and retirement program. However, still suffering from the recession in 2010, the county kept the funds from the recordation increase and left it in the general fund. And so there have been no enrollment periods for using the leveraging and retirement program. The Rural Legacy Program has been in place by the state, I think since just past 2000, beginning of the century. And it's a very effective tool, and the properties that are in green, it's not all of the county, but the properties in green on these two maps are properties that are eligible for the Rural Legacy Program. And we've had some good years. But unfortunately, there's no new application in 2018. There was also a revolving loan fund for land trusts, so that they could buy a property and have a little bit of time to sell the development rights or do what was necessary in order to protect their property. But again, during the period after the Great Recession, first the $1 million was taken out as an option, and then when the land trust requested it, came back at $300,000. Both the Maple Farm and Double Oak Farm at ACLT headquarters were protected by having the ability to short-term get that kind of a loan, pay it back within 2 years with a little bit of interest. The county's never lost money on any of those deals. So, the county's economic fortunes have reversed, as you may have heard. New money is coming in. Sustainable Calvert Network is working to raise the alarm about decline in land preservation. And I've asked our elected officials and planning commission to turn this around. Together, our organizations have saved over thousands of acres, preserved dozens of historic sites, protected many environmental features, protected local culture. However, without the Transferable Development Rights Program, which has preserved over 15,000 acres without a single public dollar going towards that, and without the Purchase Development Rights Programs and these other tools, they can no longer be effective. So it's going to take a collaborative effort, and the Sustainable Calvert Network is very happy to work with the county on this to bring these programs back. And it starts with the new comprehensive plan. The draft plan highlights 2 parallel goals: directing growth to town centers and preserving rural character. And the good news is that the vision is still in the plan, saying that our landscapes are dominated by forests and fields, and it also maintains the purchase of the priority preservation areas, the green areas that you see on the map. So these are good things. However, the vision without tools does not accomplish anything. We're waiting to see what actions are included in the next draft of the plan, in hopes that it revitalizes the program. And some of the new plan recommendations give us great concern. For example, the plan recommends that transferable development rights no longer be allowed in the white areas on the map, and that's where 95% of the development rights have gone previously. The plan reduces the amount of TDRs needed in town centers and residential districts. So where are transferable development rights to go? The number one tool that we use. So Sustainable Calvert Network must play an advocacy role under this new reality. Calvert County Agriculture Preservation Program has been one of the most successful in the country, preserving almost 29,000 acres, which is very significant for being the smallest county in the state. We've only got 11,000 to go to achieve that. Our recommendations are to create a strong implementation plan for the county comprehensive plan, to retain the goal of preserving 40,000 acres, to begin paying $4,700 per acre. Development rates went up really high during the boom just before the bust. And then they dropped precipitously down after the Great Recession. But to bring it back on the old track that we were following, about 3% per year, that we've been following for decades, would get us to about $4,700 per acre. To begin using that $1.5 million again from the recordation tax for land preservation. And then also another $1 million from the general fund, as the county has done previously. And then add another $1 million back per year to make up for the $9 million that was diverted away from the land preservation program during all these years. That would, all that together would double the amount of the money that would be available. And also, if you were using state programs, it would double the amount of money available for land preservation. It would represent about 1% of the county's budget. Calvert's rural lands create sustainable economies, as we've heard of tonight. Farming, forestry, agritourism, ecotourism, heritage tourism, and commercial recreation. They protect our rural landscapes and our cultural landscapes. They provide healthy recreation opportunities for our citizens. They protect our fisheries. They reduce air pollution, provide stormwater protection, in fact, up to $228 million per year in ecosystem services, according to the study listed under Quick Facts.